Okay, we have another live trading video from Trader Jim. In this video, Jim raises a couple of great points about zones. You know, trading is not an exact science, and I totally understand the reason why he calls levels of support and resistance zones, or a level of support and resistance might or might not be a zone, because it might be a zone, but there's no retracement. Price just goes to that level, and there is no support or resistance. It just blows right through it. That's quite possible. So he's totally correct to call areas zones, because price doesn't often go exactly to a particular price, to the tick. It's very difficult to forecast or guess that. So really, any level of support and resistance is, in theory, a zone, because there's just no guarantee that it's going to stop right on the numbers. There's often what I like to call overshoot, and it's often emotional overshoot or what have you, or it's just where prices go. There's no rhyme or reason for it. It just happens. Another thing he brought up was about when he was in many different trading rooms prior to using the Autotrader, and how they would celebrate making 20 ticks in the NASDAQ, and how this trade today of 200 ticks kind of extraordinary. Well, the Autotrader routinely makes 80, 100 tick trades, a $500 profit on our 500 tick chart, or Super Renko 6 chart. That's 100 ticks, and the Autotrader does that as a rule. Okay, let's have a look at today's video.
February 12th, about an hour after Globex open. This is the Super Renko 6, and this one, as you know, trades two contracts, looking for a $500 target. So I really did not think I would be trading, because they closed so high, around 96.23 or so. So I actually just turned the computer on and just walked away, disabled the Autotrader. But then when I came back, there was this about 60-point drop in the NASDAQ within just a few minutes. So then I watched it, so it looked like they stabilized, and then I enabled the Autotrader, of course, on longs. To me, anything above 95.18 is still bullish. So enabled the Autotrader on longs. I cannot trade the 987 Heikin-Ashi overnight, and I really wish I could. Tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. is a news announcement that would disqualify me if I am still in the trade. And as you know, the 987 trades could go for many hours, and I don't want to be in a position where I have to close a trade prematurely because of a news announcement. So just going to trade the Super Renko 6 for now, and then possibly, all depends where we are, possibly tomorrow after the announcement. I should still be home at around 8:30. I have to wait 1 minute after the news announcement to enable to take a trade. So I'm gonna then, if everything's okay, I'm gonna enable the Autotrader, of course, again on longs, with a 987 to go long. But anyway, for now, let's just focus on this trade. All right, here's target one. Trying to figure out if I should place my stop at break even. There was a really sharp move lower. I'm not sure if there was any news. I couldn't find anything on the news, so I'm not sure if this was news driven or just the regular games that they play. Because ultimately, again, we're going back up to 9600, 9610, and higher. Well, okay, gonna put break-even stop in anyway. That sharp move lower, I guess, scares me a little bit. There was nothing to say they won't try and go deeper, maybe even all the way back down to 95.18. So break-even is in, and we'll see. Getting close. And here it is. Okay. Full target complete on a Super Renko 6. Not too bad overall. I mean, a fairly clean trade after such a move lower. The other trader identifies the bullish pattern after I engaged it on the long side. Target 1, target 2 trade is done. Gonna have to wait now until tomorrow morning after the announcement to see what I can do next. So just wanted to bring this to your attention. Different funding companies have different news events that you are not allowed to trade. So this is Earn to Trade, and take a look. So they have a list, the 13th of February, 7:30 a.m. Central Time. Now I am Eastern time, so it's 8:30 my time, and you can see right here all the indices, including NQ. I cannot, you must be flat from a minute before the announcement to a minute after the announcement, and they will disqualify you both from evaluation account and once you're funded from your funded account. So OneUp Trader is slightly different during the evaluation process. OneUp Trader will allow you to trade news events during the evaluation process. But again, check, because it's been a while for me. They might have changed the rules. Top step, from what I remember, during the first step of the process, they allow you to trade news events, but in the second step, they do not. So just keep all this in mind. It's a shame to get disqualified simply because you overlook, and they listed, and I'm trying to hide them so you can see different news events on different days. You cannot trade some instruments, just so you know. With a 987, since the announcement is at 8:30, I'm going to put as a session, the start of a session, so session time filter is going to be 1, which means I am enabling the session time filter, which means the Autotrader is not going to take any trade before the time of the filter. And then the session time is going to be 8:31, because it must be 1 minute flat after the announcement. So 8:31, the Autotrader is going to be taking, I'm going to set it on longs only. And so 1 minute after the announcement, is going to start looking for long trades. February 13th, 1:40 in the afternoon. There will not be any trading. I'm just going to stay about an hour at home. Then I have to get back to the office for a few things, but just wanted to go over the morning trade. So another bad weather in central New York, and there was a delay in school openings. So I asked my kids if they could actually kind of switch charts for me if one chart was done. They have a basic idea of the auto trader, very, very, very basic. But hopefully I did not see the recording. They assured me the recording was fine. Hope they did a decent job. We'll find out later. But anyway, let's take a look at the 500 tick open range filter chart. Let's make this bigger. So here it is. So first, a small sell-off, and the auto trader stays flat. It was on longs, no shorts. I don't think I took short trades this week at all. It's just one-sided market. Anyway, ignore the short, comes over the filter here, the open range filter. Excellent, perfect, beautiful long trade, so close to the open range, absolutely perfect. And then out. So looks like it got into this long at around 9:31 and out at 9:36. So 5 minutes, a little less than 5 minutes, and hit the target. Did I leave any money on the table? Let's see. No, I don't think I left any money on the table. But really, I really was not afraid of the 96.10. I mean, obviously the market a couple of days ago, thought 96.10 would be important. In a bigger picture, 96.10 is not important, at least not to me. They are looking for that 96.60, and we will take a look at the zones chart in a few minutes. What I want to do here is now take a look. So first, let's just show this indeed is a live account. $500, one contract, no break-evens, no trail stops, going for the target. In this kind of market, just go for your target. My target should have been 1,000 and not 500. But anyway, that's how it is. Let's take a look at the Hakinashi. So as I told you, I activated the Hakinashi after the 8:30 news announcement because I was not allowed to trade that news announcement. That's all right. So looks like it went long around, looks like 8:39. So a good time, again, good location, because this chart, this template, has a 20 tick pullback, which I really begin to like. It waits for a retracement, takes a long, felt some heat, but in this kind of a trade, I mean, this is a 50-point target trade. So obviously I would expect to take some heat. And yeah, it took some heat, but fully overall, the market was, even though it was kind of sideways at first, it was still trending up. Trending up, hit the target. So again, one contract, this is just one contract, $1,000, 200 ticks. And, a number of years back when I was doing my tour of the different trading rooms, I think we've all been there, there were those two guys who would trade the NASDAQ, and they would go for 20 ticks. This was their goal for the day, was 20 ticks. 20, not 20 points, 20 ticks. That's 5 points. And after achieving that goal, they wouldn't always achieve it, but sometimes they would be high-fiving each other and banging on the furniture. 20 ticks. This over here, this is 200 ticks. 200 ticks. Now, of course, this has been an exceptional one-sided market. No question. I mean, like I said, I don't remember the last time I took a short trade. Not that there weren't opportunities on the short side. I just couldn't get myself to take any kind of a shorts. I kept waiting for retracements to take longs. I just think it's the easier way. I mean, why fight such a strong market? So yeah, just I mean, really 200 ticks, and this happened again within 2 hours, maybe less, you know. So just extremely impressive work by the auto trader, just managing this trade. Oh, I think I spoke about this before. My son was actually, he texted me, he was a bit worried. He looked at this chart. Let's maybe bring the current, wow. Anyway, he looked at the chart and says, Dad, the price marker is not moving. Sometimes it appears as if the price on this chart does not change. But of course it does. You can tell over here that price is changing. And of course you can tell when the time in sales is on that of course price is changing. But the way this bar is formed, and Randy can definitely explain it a lot better than I could, the way this bar is formed, the price marker does not move with every tick. It moves in a certain way once a bar is complete, or once price moves a certain distance intra-bar. So that's why sometimes it looks as if price here is not changing, but this is a live chart, and price, as you can tell, is changing. So they just continue to buy this thing. Wow. And we are beyond 40. We are now at 43. We are now just 14 points away now. I'm sorry, 16 points away now from that crazy zone of 96.60. Let me bring out the, let's put this away. So here is the zones chart. So let's see what happened. I mean, look, this is unbelievable to me. It's just insanity. So I had to take that phone call. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, so yesterday we closed extremely strong. Here we are. That's why I did not even think I would trade, because we were so high. What could I do? Take a long right into the zone. So I just stepped back. I spent some time with the family. Then I took a look at the chart again, and there was this nice sell-off. Anyway, so that trade was the evening trade. It was the evening trade yesterday, the Super Enco 6. So what happened overnight then? I mean, here they come again, and so predictable. Here they come, and they just touch that zone. I mean, you just touch it and bounce right out of it. Again, could not close a 30-minute bar, even a 30-minute bar, which is not the largest time frame for me, but they could not even close a 30-minute bar below this 95.18. And as I'm looking, I'm trying to see when was the last time they closed. I mean, it was here. Once they broke this zone, they came close here, but nope. Once they broke this zone, they could not close even a 30-minute bar below 95.18. Look at this. That's just ridiculous. And now I mean, I cannot be taking longs into this zone. I mean, am I saying we cannot go above it? Again, absolutely not. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just standing here and I'm just amazed to be that strong. So as I mentioned earlier this week, if they get to this zone, and they should look like they're attempting that, if they get to that zone under normal market conditions, by Friday 4 p.m. Eastern, we should still be below the zone. That's under normal market conditions. Is this a normal market? Well, you tell me. I have no idea anymore. I do want to explain one thing, but I gotta make one phone call first, so give me a minute here. Okay, sorry, yes, so I just wanted to clarify one thing. So first of all, Randy has been putting out these great educational videos. I encourage all of you to watch them. You know, the stuff that he's explaining and talking about for free. There are companies, so-called trading schools, that will charge you thousands of dollars to explain and to show you stuff that he's giving you for free. So watch his videos. I know I do. I think they're just a wealth of information, and it would just really help you with your trading. He has been at it for a long time. He really knows what he's talking about. I just wanted to clarify one thing, just to avoid confusion. And the only reason there is a confusion is because it's just a difference in definitions, put it this way. So in one of the videos that he put out a few days ago, he was talking about zones, I guess my zones, and he said, well, you know, sometimes maybe you should kind of judge for yourself. And I think it was this area here. Let me just get to it a little easier here, right? So he said, well, maybe a true zone is a little higher, or maybe sometimes it's a little lower. And right, so this would be completely correct. He's not wrong. It would be completely correct. It's just that, like I said, it's a difference in definition. So for me, a zone really has nothing to do with support or resistance. And I know it might sound confusing, but it's like this. A zone is a place, in my methodology, that price should go to given particular market structure, condition, and market energy. This should bring a price to a particular place that I call a zone. This zone is a zone. It's completely independent of support or resistance. It is true that at a zone, price reacts a certain way. It either consolidates or it gets rejected. But in and of itself, a zone has nothing to do with resistance. And I'm telling you this, let me just, because if you remember, if you've been watching regularly, right? So let's say last week, when I said, when we were trading somewhere between 9,000 and 9,100, the all-time high was a bit higher than that. And I said that the next zone above 92.57 is 93.46. Right, so that's just what the zone is. Now, obviously, it cannot be resistance because the price was never there, right? Because we were somewhere here. Price was never at 93.46. It was about 80 points above the all-time high. So it cannot be resistance. So as price got there, you know, it did what it did. It kind of consolidated, went slightly lower, then broke up, went to the next zone. So again, this next zone was again above the all-time high, and the 94.55 was just a zone where price would go to given these conditions of the market. But in and of themselves, they are not support or resistance. A zone is just what it is. It's not correct or incorrect based on price when it got to it. It's just there. So every, like I said, every week there was this tendency of price to move from zone to zone, from zone to zone. And then there is something like this where it looks like it wants to come all the way down, and then they stop because they're too strong, which is the first hint. So that first of all is going to go back to the opposite zone. And it tried a few times, and when it couldn't, what did it do? Well, it came back to the zone here. So you can say, well, this is not exactly accurate because maybe the zone should be like here, you know, or here. If you don't want to count the wick, maybe it should be here. Maybe it should be higher or lower. And my point is, it's neither. The zone is what it is, regardless of what price does. What price does tells me what should happen next. And sure enough, go up to the zone, then like up, could not make it all the way up, came back down to the zone, moving up, again couldn't make it, this is last night, down to the zone, and now it looks like they want to finish the move, possibly, to this highest zone and beyond. I mean, beyond this, there was 97.15, but like I said, under normal market conditions, we should close the week below this the zone. So yeah, I just wanted to clarify it because I don't want there to be any misunderstandings. Because actually, if you're looking for explanations on support and resistance, then Randy is on the money. I mean, he has a very good way of identifying support and resistance. I just wanted to clarify that zones are not necessarily that. They could be that. Very often they are that, but that's not what defines them, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I hope that's clear. I have to leave again, so I'm not trading in the afternoon. Possibly we'll look for something during Globex again.